What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, Sealz, the man, and I got a message for you cheaters. But first, please, pretty please, subscribe to my channel. It's the red button right below this video box. Like, comment, all that good stuff. I need to hear your engagement on this. I need to hear your opinion. It's better when you guys talk to me. And also, if you have an Instagram page, come follow your boy. I try to drop as much gems and value on there as much as possible that I can't do on YouTube, so check that out. If you ever want to buy Sealz the Man a coffee, just a simple coffee, there's a link in my description where you can just literally buy me a coffee. I'm not a big fan of coffee, but you know, black tea is just as good. But you can do that if you want to support me and get me through the day. Link in the bio, check it out. All right, let's get to it. So, like I said, I got a message for the cheaters out there. You know, Sealz the Man always comes with interesting topics that people don't like to talk about or shy away from, but I am here to talk about those things because let's be real, cheating happens every second of the day. But why is that? Why are people cheating out here? Why are people wasting their time and wasting other people's time to get a temporary satisfaction? So that is what's going to lead to my first thing I want to say about this. For the cheaters out there, I just want y'all to consider this. Once again, you know me, Sealz the Man, I'm not judging. I don't judge. I'm just here to talk. I want you to listen and I want you to think about what I say. I don't want you to get mad. I want you to just be open-minded to what I have to say. Number one, is it worth to lose your forever for a temporary moment? Is it worth to lose your love for lust? Is it worth to lose your long-term investment over a gamble? So I just want you to think about that first. First thing I gotta say, think about that. Because you may be a professional cheater and you may not get caught, but 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to get caught. You're going to get exposed. As my grandma always say, what's done in the dark must come to light. There has to be balance in the universe. And you're not perfect. So there is a high possibility that you will get caught, that you will slip up. And also your situation, your cheating situation, your adulterous situation is not perfect. So the other person can dish you out as well. Now you start to realize that you have no control over this situation. So I hope you're starting to see that the cons are starting to outweigh the positives. Also, are you willing to lose the love of your loved one over losing the lust of your other woman or the person you're cheating with? Are you willing to see that heartbreak? Are you willing to feel that heartbreak? Are you willing to be in that disappointment that he or she will get, their family will get, your friends and their friends will get from finding out that you were disloyal to your loved one? Are you willing to induce those type of heartbreak and dreadful and just horrible feelings versus the feelings you get with the temporary satisfaction? So what it comes down to is, are you willing to risk it all in comparison to having a minute or two of satisfaction? Let's be real. Also, are you willing to get the other person that you're cheating with in his or her feelings over you and having to juggle that, and also juggling the feelings and the emotions and the attachment and the relationship that you have with your wife or girlfriend or your loved one? So are you willing to lose your whole loaf for a breadcrumb? Are you? Because I just don't get it. The feeling of forever, the feeling of a forever attraction, a forever love, a forever companionship with your loved one. Forever. What does it take to risk that for a feeling of that in a couple minutes or even an hour or whatever, a weekend or whatever it is? The pros and cons just don't match up in your favor because cheating is a selfish act, right? So if you're going to be selfish, think about how this is going to benefit you. Since you're going to be selfish, how is this going to come out any type of good for you? Because since you're not thinking about your loved one because you're being selfish, you're also not thinking about the other person's feelings. If they catch feelings, you're not thinking about anyone but yourself. So if you're going to be selfish, think about how this is going to help self. So think about it. But the second thing I want to say about this, the second thing I want to just bring to your mind, and this is for the people who are even thinking about cheating, who haven't even done the act, but just even thinking about it. If you are not ready for a relationship, if you are not ready for commitment, if you are not ready for a relationship or committing to this person, then do not get into a relationship. See, the problem with a lot of people is they want the cake and eat it too. That's how the saying goes, right? Which I still don't really understand that saying, because if I buy a cake, I'm gonna eat it all if I want, but put that aside. A lot of people get into relationships and exclude the big portion of it, of being in a partnership or a relationship. See, a lot of people take going into a relationship as ownership. They feel like when they're in a relationship with you, they own you. So they have the right to do whatever they want, and you have to deal with it because they own you. And they feel like you're not going anywhere because you love them so much. That is a horrible way of thinking about relationships. That's just not what a relationship is. And if you're thinking like that, then that's a clear sign that you're not ready to be in a relationship. When it comes to commitment, if you out here in these streets doing whatever you want to do, if you have fun and sleeping with a lot of people and committing yourself to multiple people, then maybe you shouldn't commit yourself to one person. Like, I don't see how people are confused about this part. You are an adult, so that means you have the freedom of choice. Your parents and guardians is not telling you what to do, so you have the ability to make decisions. So why are you deciding to commit to one person when you know you like committing to multiple people? How does that make sense to you? Thinking about this, you're not even looking out for yourself if you're doing this, because you're doing something that you don't want to do. And I didn't even include the other person in this, right? I was talking on a self perspective. But now you're committing to someone. You're in a relationship with someone who has desires and wants and a passion for a relationship or a long-term love or something like that. And I'm pretty sure this person has told you this thing. They've told you what they wanted. They told you what they desire from you. So if they have, and you still decide to go through with this, that means you are lying to not only him or her, but you are lying to yourself. So what sense does it make to lie to yourself and lie to somebody else? You getting me? This also goes for young men and women as well, because you're at the age where, everything's popping. You're meeting so many people, especially if you're going to college. You're meeting so many new people, type of people that you never met, different attractions, different types of attractions you've never experienced before. Your hormones are going crazy, but you need to settle yourself. Be mature and think about the consequences that follow your decisions, because every decision has a consequence. Every beginning has an end. Every action has a reaction. So if you set yourself up by doing something like this, you will have a negative reaction. You will have a negative result. You will have a negative ending. When it comes to life, it's a simple math. If you do something positive, if you get in the process of a positive action or a positive sequence of things, you will get a positive result. And on the flip side of the coin, if you get into a negative process, if you put yourself in a negative position, it will have a negative result, a negative ending. So why put yourself in this position? It doesn't make sense, right? Now, I really hope that I'm getting through to you. Like, I'm not trying to scold you. I just want you to listen to me on how this doesn't make sense for you, and especially for everyone you got involved. The third thing I want to say to cheaters is that I understand that there are some situations and times where couples fall out of love for whatever reason. And there's a lot of reasons. Or they fall out of liking each other, or they just realize the relationship they have doesn't work with their current life or lifestyle, or decisions were made that has put a disruption. There's a lot of reasons, right? And that doesn't mean the man or the woman is bad, because things like this happens every day. So on this point I'm trying to make is, you need to communicate. As I always say in probably 90% of my videos, communication is key to all success, especially in relationships. You need to open your mouth and speak what's on your mind and what's on your heart. Talk about what's going on between you two. Don't get so angry and petty that you close your mouth. You need to get to the point where you feel like you have to say something, and that is the best way to go. So you need to communicate and talk about your struggles and both of y'all issues together rather than going out here and act like you're single. Because how does that help your situation? Especially if you know you love that person and you want that person. How does cheating help the cause? It doesn't solve a thing. And let me be more real with you. After you're done cheating, right? After each time you're done cheating, do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel good about yourself? Do you feel good about lying to your loved one? Like, don't you feel the pressure of lying and the stress of remembering your lies? Like, don't you feel a little psychotic or crazy when you have to go home and act like a whole nother person from the person you just was a few hours ago when you were with your other person? Like, don't that feel like it's too much to bear? Like, who wants to live that type of life? I'm all about living life as stress-free as possible and being great at communicating. Being open to communicating makes that happen for me. That makes communicating eases stress because you don't have to hold anything on your heart and your spirit, and you don't have to hold back secrets and lies, because when you communicate, you put out. So everything that is in you comes out. When you don't communicate, you hold it in. You absorb, you assimilate, and you start to become what is inside of you. It's just like eating. You are what you eat. So whatever is festering in you, you become that thing. So do you really want to be that thing? Just think about this. Once again, I'm not judging. I'm not here on this earth to judge. When I'm here, I feel like my purpose is to make y'all aware of your decisions. Make you aware of the consequences that are possible from your actions. So I hope I was able to make some kind of a mental change in your mindset about this thing that you're doing. And I hope I was able to show you why being free is worth it and why living multiple lifestyles will never be it. So thank you for watching this video. I hope I was able to, help some way, somehow change a mindset out there, change mindsets out there. And I just want all of us to become better as a whole. Like I said, I'm not here to judge. I just want y'all to be better because I want to be better. And I feel like if we do it together, that's the best way to do it. So God bless you. Peace and blessings to you and yours. Stay safe out there, and goodbye.